Hi everybody, welcome to Module 6, where our focus is on our end of our lifespan, and we will be talking about death and dying and the overall experience that we all go through at the end stages of life, as well as the grief processes for our family members. So spend some time this week with the readings and the additional links that we have. We have additional links for you, as well as our video lecture and transcript of Death and Dying. Our assignments this week are our usual RGO. And this week our RGO is going to look like this. We are doing a PENS diagram, if you will. So for PENS, number P, we review or preview ideas. Read the reading title, headings, and subheadings. What do you think the module is all about? Come up with 5 thoughts on kind of just before you do the reading, a quick understanding. That's pretty obvious. Our module is about death and dying. The next is E, explore ideas. Write why and how questions from the module reading. So why questions, how questions, anything that you want to know. So you don't have to answer these questions. You're just writing them out. Because in your end section, you're going to be answering the questions that you created in your E section. So the questions come here in E, and then you will be answering those questions in the notes and ideas. And then finally, S, summarize your ideas, explain how all of this applies. Dying, death, and coping with loss, and your own personal background and experience with this topic. I know many of us have had experiences with grief and loss and death and dying of family members or friends that we're close to. If you haven't had that experience yet, you can certainly talk about your feelings about these upcoming life experiences that we all eventually have to walk through. So again, as you know by now, my biggest push in our class is to always make a personal connection, because we are all going through our span of development in different stages. So everybody should have some kind of personal connection, which will then help solidify your overall understanding of the material. Okay, that is the RGO, so please make sure that is done by Tuesday. Then we're going to jump back and we are going to have our final multimedia discussion for our course. If you can believe how quickly we've moved. You're going to want to choose 2 prompts from the 4 to respond to. So the first one is, should older people be subject to strict examinations to renew their driver's licenses? Should such tests cover more than eyesight, such as response time or mental abilities? What issues should be taken into consideration? So that's a very interesting concept. Number 2, in what ways is socioeconomic status related to wellness in an old age and to life expectancy? Number 3, find examples in the media of at least 3 of the Kubler and Hareff's types of marriage and describe them. And write an instructional manual for people in midlife or late adulthood. You are welcome to choose any of these to answer. And remember, this is due by Thursday of our module. Also, don't forget to respond to your 2 classmates, because that is worth 10 points, and you want to make sure to be able to get all of the points possible for your discussion. Finally, our final module-related assignment is going to be focused on the grief process. You are, in fact, doing another presentation. This is not a manual. This is a training guide for those who are working with people who are terminally ill or helping families in the grief process. So this assignment is, imagine that you are training others to work with people who are terminally ill or in grief. I know many of you are currently working in the health field or working towards a degree in the health field. So I've often had many students in my courses who have actually gone through such a training. So if that is you, then that's great. Use your information or your personal experience here to really explore this topic. So you will be creating one more PowerPoint that advises your training group on how to work most effectively with the population of those who are terminally ill or going through the grief process, whether it is the person themselves who is dying or the family who is experiencing this process as they walk a family member through it. Your PowerPoint should be about 8 to 10 slides. It should include a title page and a reference slide. And I would like you to be sure to be touching on the Kubler-Ross's theory of death and dying and how the process will affect each client differently. As we know, people go through the grief process very differently, different stages, different timing. So be very aware that every person's experience in this journey will be different. Please do some research on this topic, getting 2 additional sources outside of the material that was provided in the course, and please cite that on your separate reference slide. So it's a pretty simple assignment. It's just a training guide, and I hope that you will enjoy it and it will shed some new light on the grief process. Of course, if you have any questions about the assignment, please let me know. Okay, that is pretty much Module 6. Now we have some time, and I'm going to spend the rest of this time talking about Module 7, which is our final assignments. Many of you, I know, are continuing on here at MCC, and you have a schedule for next fall, which of course is coming up very soon. So this assignment is just an easy 5 points. If you are registered for classes in fall of 19, I would like you to tell me what you're registered for. If you're not going to be attending MCC in the fall, then that's completely fine. Just let me know I'm not attending, I'm transferring, or I'm taking some time off, or this isn't my actual university. I go to ASU, and so therefore this is just a summer class. Whatever your personal experience is fine with me, but I just want you to know what your future plans are, and if you are here at MCC, what courses you're headed for. So all you need to do is do a text admission or text submission, if you will, and just let me know what your plans are for the fall. The next assignment is the personal timeline discussion board. This is different than the multimedia discussion. The first thing you're going to do is create a personal timeline. This is a timeline of your life experiences from the beginning, birth, through your childhood, through adolescence, to now, wherever you are now today. That being said, there is not a specific requirement of pages or slides or moments in development because everyone is a different age, everybody has a different journey. So just as you can see here, I didn't draw anything out, but I wrote out my own personal experiences of my life, some big major points in my life. When I was born, how old my parents were when they had me, some major things, how I was premature, 8 days premature, I was bottle fed, and it just kind of goes through some highlights of my life up until now. So your assignment is to do the same thing with a visual. So pictures or explanations of your experiences. I suggest PowerPoint or some kind of poster type online posters such as Glogster or Google Drawings that can kind of help you illustrate. If you don't have actual photographs of these life experiences, you're certainly use your imagination. You can definitely use images from online resources that just to kind of illustrate the big things that happen. Of course, I'd love to have some personal photos of you, but we don't all have photos of that. So if it was something, for example, that for like my example here is I was in an incubator for 8 days. I don't really have pictures of that anymore, but I might have a picture of an incubator there just to symbolize my experience. And so in your slide or in your poster, please kind of describe each of these main highlighted points of your personal timeline. If we were in a physical classroom, I might give you a large poster board or a huge piece of butcher paper to draw out and add pictures and make an actual physical timeline. Since we're online, we can't do that so much. So use whatever mode you feel most comfortable with. I just want to see your process. Once you have completed your timeline, then you are going to actually post it to the discussion board. So if it's an actual PowerPoint, you can attach it. If it's a Glogster or some kind of online poster, send us the link. Make sure you've shared it so that it doesn't have to be public, but at least those of us with the link can access it. If you've done some other mode, just make sure that we are able to view it. And the idea here is that your classmates can kind of just give you some feedback on your own life process, and you can kind of see where your classmates have been, because we're all in different places in our lives. Please make sure that your poster, or excuse me, your timeline is completed by Sunday, May 5th. So this is the first part of your final assignment due in Module 7. And then, as we all know, we've been working on our final assignment. So this should come to no surprise that your final project is due our last week of school. And a few of you are doing last week of school on July 16th. Many of you are doing service learning projects, so wherever you're at in your service learning, continue on with that. And those of you who are doing the research-based project, all of you have submitted really very cool and exciting ideas, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you decide and how you decide to present that material. Please submit that no later than July 16th, and of course your final project is worth 100 points. If you have any questions about these final assignments, or the process that you are in terms of your research or your service learning, please feel free to reach out to me via Canvas. I am absolutely here. If you need to set some time to have a phone call and chit-chat some things over, I'm more than happy to do that, set up an appointment with you. But I am here if you have any questions, and please be sure to know that I have enjoyed this experience with you guys. It's been fast. I've never gone through the lifespan so quickly, but I think we did a really great job. All right, everybody, please let me know if you have any questions, and I will be looking forward to these submissions. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.